Hello, Shalom, Shalom. How you doing? Hope everything's okay with you. Even though I know, we know, you know, everybody know, man, it's a wacky world we living in right now. This business is crazy out here. Woohoo! All right, 653 subscribers. 3 people broke that 50 mark, 650. Thank you. Right off the rip. Let me start off by telling you thank you for subscribing. And thank you for coming back to listen to some more of my open dialogue. Okay. We talked about, a little bit the brother Tyree that was killed by the 5 cops. And like I told you, watched the video several times. I watched the video with Sandra Bland and a bunch of videos, a lot of them. And something I never told you that I'm going to take time with you now. Oh, look, please go ahead and subscribe right quick. Boom. Press that subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe. That'll help. The like button to help people find me. Those that, be looking for me in the future when you tell them, hey, listen to the Nubian King. He be sounding like my uncle, telling us some good stuff. And the notification bell when I put them up. Okay? I know sometimes I can get long-winded. It'd be long, and you don't have an hour. So I'm working on just hitting it and quit it, get to the point. Okay? All right. Listen, the police. Something I never told you all, but I've been stopped a whole lot of times in America dealing with the police. I was driving big tractor trailers for a while over the road. Was driving, just cars everywhere. I've been stopped in the middle of the day, the middle of the night. I've been stopped out there in the middle of nowhere in Texas, 3:33 in the morning, Atlanta, Georgia. And each time I got stopped, I was absolutely wrong. Either I was speeding or running a red light or doing some kind of traffic violation. Now, don't think that, I just be out there wilding out with the driving. It just be little things, man, that sometimes you just, slip by you, and it happens. Just human error. Like one time in Texas, I'll share with you. Man, I was getting down the road. Boom. And I was driving the speed limit, but there was another speed under that, which was a little slower. The cop came out, state trooper, walked me down. He followed me for a little bit, and then he hit them lights, and I pulled over. Well, when I pulled over, I rolled all the windows down because, everything electric. I turned all the interior lights on, turned the music off, and sat with my both hands on the wheel, 10 and 2 o'clock position. Cop came up on the passenger side because this was after so many cops that got hit standing on the door. People come by there, and so the cop come up on the passenger side. He looks in the car. He didn't have to take his flashlight out, nothing. He, the light is on. And so he said, driver license, registration, and proof of insurance. And I looked around at him. I said, good evening, officer. I said, my proof of insurance and registration is in the glove box. Do I have permission to slowly remove my right hand from the steering wheel and slowly reach over there and open the glove box? He said, yes, sir, go ahead. Then he took his flashlight out because sometimes, the glove box don't have a light in there, but my car, the glove box is lit. So when I slowly opened the door, the light came on in the glove box, and he could see I wasn't reaching for a gun because it wasn't one. I didn't have a gun. And I slid the papers out and hand them to him. I said, now my driver's license is right here in the middle console. Do I have permission to reach in there, slowly open it, and get my license out of my wallet? He said, yes, sir. He turned the light on again, because, you know, those little dark areas, he want to make sure I ain't pull out no weapon and get him. He had his right hand on his gun and his left hand with the flashlight. So I reached in there, slowly came up with the wallet, gave him a license. He said, I'll be right back. While he was back there, I didn't move. You know, because he had all them lights shining on me. You could see that he could see. You know, I didn't move my head. You know, I just sat right there. Because, you know, when you out there, the cop has that big target on. And all bad guys, their uniform is a target to all bad guys. They put them on 8 hours, 10 hours, whatever they do, and they become a target to the bad guys. And the thing is, the bad guys be mixed in with the good guys, and you don't know who's who. You know, I look like a normal dude, you know, good guy. You never know, and he don't know. So they have to always be on top of anything that could potentially harm them, because they out there. And so any little thing that you do, they can't run the risk by giving you the benefit of the doubt that you ain't doing nothing. That get them, a lot of them killed. So anything you do, they're going to really come on you. Why? Because they scared. They're trying to stay alive. So I didn't move. He finished doing what he was doing, and he walked back up there. Same situation. I'm telling you, I stayed right there, hand on the steering wheel. And he reached in there, and he said, here's all your stuff. And he called me by name. And he said, you know, you don't have any violation. You got a clean driver's record. I said, yes, I know. And you got commercial license, CDL. I said, yes, I know. He said, where you going? I said, I'm going out to Houston. Where you coming from? Hope, Arkansas. Oh, yeah? Where you work? I said, the Turk Power Plant. He said, what do you do? I said, I'm a crane operator. Uh-huh. Why you going to Houston? I said, to visit a girlfriend. He said, okay. He said, you in a hurry? I said, no, not really. Then why you driving so fast? But I was doing the speed limit. He said, yeah, but at night it's the bottom speed limit. I'm like, what? I thought that was just for trucks. He said, no, that's for everybody. He said, so you were speeding over the speed limit. I said, really? I'm like, damn. He said, listen, okay, I see that you really wasn't clear about the two different speed limits. And because you don't have any violation on your license, he said, sir, I would really hate to dirt up these license with this. So look, I'm gonna give you a warning. I ain't gonna put nothing on your license. But will you just do me a favor and slow it down? You'll get there. Just take your time. Back off of it. I said, really? He said, yeah. So he handed, he said, go on and slow it down. I said, no problem. You got my word. And I was out of there. Okay? That was cool. But remember, I laid all the windows down, all the lights on, music off, sound, both hands on. Why did I do that like that? See, you have to understand, what these men and women are doing out there with this police thing, Once they put that blue uniform on and step out of their house, they become a target to the bad guys. They don't know who the bad guys are. They mixed in with the good guys. So they are trained, right, to be ready to protect themselves because they want to go home. Sad thing about it is their target practice is, a white piece of paper with a black silhouette of a body, head and shoulders. It's black. Then I found out that there was some, officers actually practicing on African American men pictures. They put the paper down there, and he was real men. It wasn't just a black silhouette anymore. I heard about that. So that means what? They are psychologically being programmed to be over aggressive to black men. Now, they do all this study and recon, and they have sociologists to come in, psychiatrists to talk about the public, the people, the mind. And so these cops is learning all this stuff about dealing with people, human bad guys. And so when he jump out the car, he done already profile you and basically kind of got a good kind of understanding of what he dealing with. The way you dress, the way you look, your demeanor, all these things these guys learn so that they can spot a potential, problem. Because why? That problem could cause his life. So they're learning certain things about noticing, real subtle things about people so they can stay alive and go home to their families. Now, for the public, you just have to know that. You can't get upset and say, well, they da-da-da. I mean, just like they learning and studying about us, then we should learn and study about them. So everybody know everybody. Okay, now the police officer, come on now. You wouldn't want to be in a society where you don't have none. And something jump out, who you gonna call? Okay. Now for those of you all that do understand about the police, then you have to understand the police mindset. It's real simple. They put that uniform on, they are targets to all bad guys and girls. The bad guys and girls is mixed in with the good one. They don't know who is good and who is bad until everybody do what they do so they can know either you're a good guy or you're a bad guy, whatever. So you get stopped by the cop. He come up or she come up, and their number one concern is their own safety. That you don't do anything. That's why they ask you got any weapons, you got a knife, da-da-da-da-da, because they don't want to get hurt. And then them getting hurt could be just a split-second move, and they hurt. So when I let the windows down, that was to make sure that that wasn't a reflection that caused the cop to not to be able to see in the car. All the lights on front and back, let him see nobody else in the car, and I'm sitting there both hands on the wheel. What does that do? That lowers the cop sense of fear and concern and stress that says, okay, I got a person in here. He's a good guy. Why? Because he let me know before I even said anything, he cool. Windows down, lights on, music off, hand on the steering wheel. Because why? I studied the mindset of the cop. And when I put myself in that position, it's let him know, you can relax. You ain't gonna die tonight. We can do whatever business need to be done, and you gonna go home, and I'm gonna go home. In Atlanta, Georgia, another time, not in Texas. Yeah, like I told you, I was speeding out there because I didn't know that those two did speed, whatever, I was speeding in Texas. Guy didn't give me a ticket, gave me a warning. Boom, I went on. In Atlanta, Georgia. Now, it's over in Atlanta, Georgia, in the West End. Those of you all that know, the West End train station, I don't know now because I ain't been out there in years. But this particular night, it was middle of the night. I was leaving my sister's house. She's from Ghana, and she said, because she cooks food, and she had just been working, and she asked me, big bro, would you let's go for a ride. She just wanted to get out the house, and we rode like 12 midnight. We went out, riding all up and down Atlanta, everywhere from Peachtree Street, Buckhead. I mean, we would just ride, because that's all she wanted to do was just ride. All right, so when I got her back to the house, it was like 3 in the morning, middle of the night, 3, 4 in the morning. I'm tired, and I got to drive back to where I was staying. But the next day, I was getting on the plane to come back to Israel. And so my mind was thinking about, oh man, I'm finna be back to Israel, back, whatever. And the street that I came down was over there. It's in the West End area, right? It is not on Ralph David Avenue. It's the next street over. And that street you can ride, and you can run straight into the train station, the West End train station, right? Now, I'm coming up the street, and I can see the train station over there. And this train station, I'm riding west, because the train station, it go north to south, right? On the side of the train station were red tiles. It was designed. I don't know if they still there. Some of you all live in Atlanta that's listening. You probably know whatever. But on the side of that train station, there were red tiles. Not bricks, but tiles. Now, when I came to that intersection, I could only make a left or a right. Now, this is what was going on. When I drove up to the intersection, there was a traffic light, and there was a stop sign. The stop sign red and white. The traffic light was red, and those tiles over there on the train station was red. So me coming up there, mine ain't really on driving. It's on going back to Israel. I'm tired, 3, 4 in the morning. All I saw was red tiles. I didn't even notice the traffic light. Because I'm looking, and I could see the red tiles long before I got to the intersection. And I never saw the traffic light. Why? I saw the stop sign. And then I saw those red tiles on the side of the train station. And so I saw the stop sign. I stopped. Then I pulled out, and I looked both ways. And you look down there, that's Ralph David Abernathy on the corner just before you get to that Krispy Kreme. That's where I was at, right? If you go straight down there, on the left is Krispy Kreme donuts. And so I saw the traffic light down there. It turned green, and the cars started coming that way. And to my right, it was no cars. So I had way more time to get out there before those cars get to me. So I stopped at the stop sign, looked both ways, and I pulled out there. Now, as I pulled out, because it was so dark out there, the green traffic light, I could see it on top of my rearview mirror. As I went, I saw this little green, and I said to myself, damn, that was a traffic light? And when I looked in the mirror, it was green. So I thought to myself, I said, wait a minute, I done ran a traffic light? And if it's green on this side, then I asked myself, what was it when I pulled through? It was red. Man, I done ran the doggone traffic stops. Oh, what? And lo and behold, would you believe, the daggone car that was coming at me was the Atlanta police. He saw me run the red light. Oh, man. And it was like a movie. Like, when I passed him, he passed me. It's like we slowed down and we looked at each other, eyeballed each other. He looked at me, I looked at him, black guy. So soon as I passed him, whoop, I pulled off to the right in the parking lot of the train station. Same thing. Turn all the windows down, music, lights on, and I sat there. And now I realized it was a traffic light there. I didn't notice it because I saw the red and white stop sign. I saw all that red on the train station, and the traffic light blended in with the red on the train station. That's why I didn't see it. It was like an optical illusion. I never even saw the traffic light because it was red on my side, and the tiles, that's what caught me up. So you understand what I'm saying? I just never saw the traffic light. The red stop light. So I pulled in the parking lot. He made a U-turn. He came right behind me. So by the time he gets to me, all the lights on, all the windows down, I'm sitting there with a hand on here. Brother comes up, black guy. He comes up with his hand on the gun. I can see he got his finger there. I look around. I said, man, see what I'm saying? They come up with the hands on the gun. So if you make the wrong move, they can beat you to the draw because they want to go home, right? And so I just turned around, looked at him. He said, I need to see your driver's license, proof of registration. I said, brother, can I say something? You know what he told me? It wouldn't do you no good. So I gave him a paperwork and I just sat there. Same thing, he back there doing what he doing, and my head and everything. I didn't move it. And a few minutes later, he came back up and gave me the ticket. He didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing. There wasn't nothing to say. Because I asked him, could I say something? He said it wouldn't do you no good. So wasn't nothing to say. And he standing there with the hand on the gun. I figured, yep, he right. He ain't going to do me no good. I daggone sure ain't going to say nothing. And he got his hand on the gun. I just shut up. Because I didn't want to be, messed up. So he gave me the ticket. And I went on, Now, at the time, my aunt, she's made transition now, rest her soul in power. She actually worked downtown. She was the supervisor, one of the offices, and so she knew about the ticket and everything. And I had her to look it up, the next day she found it. Because, in the process, like they write the ticket, but, they had a computer, so computer, printer, it was already in the system. So she found it. And I told her, I said, you know what, my flight leave this evening rather. I was thinking about, going on and pay it, but, I just called you to see what you think about it. She looked it up. She said, well, you ran the red light, couple $100. It ain't, but they didn't put on the points in the license. They didn't take no points out. She said, you just got a fine here. I said, okay. So what do you think? She said, well, if you don't pay it, they're going to put a bench warrant or something like that. She said they'll do that, And she said, but, I'm just looking at the fact that you going back to Israel. She said, when you coming back over here? I said, I don't have no plans of coming back. She said, go on and get on that plane. She said, because after so long, this going to disappear. I'm like, really? She said, yeah, if you stay over there long enough, this ticket going to disappear. Uh-huh. She said, so you don't need to take no chance. Don't go down there trying to pay it, because she said the way things is now, don't take no chance. Because if you go around there trying to pay this ticket, and she said, it's crazy now. You can miss your flight. But she said, if you go to Israel and don't come back no time soon, she said, this ticket, it'll disappear. So I did. I went on back to Israel, and a girlfriend of mine that works in the bail bond department in Atlanta, I hit her up and had her to look. I gave her, I got the ticket, all the stuff here, right? So I gave her the number, the ticket, everything, and she could not find it in the system. So she works in the bail bond, so she called one of her girls over in the department and gave her the information, and she couldn't find the ticket. You know what I think it was? I think, after I thought about it, like hindsight, I believe that my aunt was telling me that she gonna take care of it, but she couldn't tell me because we was on the phone. She said that I wouldn't want you to take a chance of coming down here trying to pay it. And she said, as crazy things is now, ain't no telling what liable to happen. I wouldn't want you to miss your flight. She said, I would just say, go on and get on the plane, because you know what, after a period of time, this ticket gonna disappear anyway. I think that was her telling me that she was gonna take care of it, because 2 people couldn't find that ticket, it had disappeared. You follow what I'm saying? So I think Aunt hooked it up for me. She's dead and gone now, and that was years ago. But yeah, the ticket disappeared. And then I had the sister, my friend works in the bail bonds department, to check and see any warrants, anything out on me. I gave him ID and all my information. She said, you clean. Ain't no warrants out for you, no bench warrant, no nothing. She said, you ain't got no record. You good to go. So if I came back to the States, they wouldn't lock me up at the airport because of a warrant for my arrest. She said, your record is clean, brother. You have nothing on there. Really? I said, great. So anyway, I just wanted to drop that on you about dealing with the police. And it's just like, you know, the good guys and the bad guys. Police don't know who they are. The good guy mixed in with the bad guy, and they all look the same. Flip that around. The good police are mixed in with the bad police, and they all look the same. You don't know who's who. So, you should deal with every police like he's the bad police, and do some of these little things that I've shown you to neutralize them. If they give you instruction, just do it. That ain't no time to try to get bucked and gangster, you know, because you don't listen to some thug music, and now you gon', you know, you ain't gonna bitch. Dude, this is the police who's trained to whoop your behind. And he get on the mic and can call 200 more trained to whoop your behind. You have no guns, you have no bombs, you got no tank. You need to just cool out for now. It ain't gonna make you no less of a man. And your mama be happy to see you come home. You understand what I'm saying? Roll the windows down, turn the music off, chill. If the dude say get out the car, get on the ground, get on the damn ground. He ain't gonna kill you unless you give him a reason. You give him a reason. It's just that simple. You know, cop tell me, get out of the car, get on the ground. Get right on the ground. Because why? You know what that remind me of? Some of them cops I watch, they had like an argument with a woman. If you ever got in an argument with a woman and you're a man, chances are you didn't win. You never win an argument with a woman, especially if you get in your feeling. If you one of them dudes raised by your mama, you're going to be hollering and screaming with her until one of y'all get tired or whatever. But if you were raised by a man and you get to arguing with a woman, first thing you're going to do, you're going to say, okay, cool, right, you know, yeah. Oh, man, you know what, you're right. Now, once you say you right, she can't do nothing but shut the hell up, because if you say, yeah, you right, sweetheart, that was wrong, I made a mistake. And she keep going, now she in the wrong zone, you can get her. And when she hear that, she gonna have to stop unless she crazy as hell. Now, if you acknowledge to her, oh, my bad, that was a mistake, and she still keep going, she about to catch them hands. All right, so whatever it is she arguing about, and you just chill and say, you know what, baby, you're right, my bad. Check that, get that in order. And if she still keep going, you're going to have to throw them hands. Police the same way. Police tell you get on the ground, you get on the ground. He ain't got no reason to shoot or do nothing to you. And he may be one of the good guys, so you go home. If you're one of the bad guys, you get on the ground, we tell you get on the ground, face down, face down. What are you going to do? Unless they be out there like them guys was. You went out there just for a traffic violation. Dude was out there for another reason. So it basically wasn't nothing he could do. All right. So just like they study us on how to deal with the public and what to look out for, we need to study them and how and what to look out, and you know, so we can go home. They want to go home, we want to go home. Turn them lights on. Let the windows down so it don't be no reflection, and you totally, completely neutralize any fear that he had walking up to that car, that it may be somebody laid back there with a sawed off ready to spring up and blow his chest open. But he walk up and see, and you know, cool. Oh, and you get to go home. All right, now don't be talking about ain't nobody gonna punk you. Hell, you out there at 3:30 in the morning, ain't nobody but you and him. Don't nobody know what's going on. But the only thing they know is you came home that night. Whether you got punked, said yes sir or no sir. Got you came on home. So stop all that gangster stuff. Man, dude, that dude standing out there with mace, billy club, gun, and he got gloves on him, and he, loked up in the gym, and what you gonna do? You ain't been working out, you understand? And you just out there trying to do what? Don't do that. I'm telling you, it's more important to go home to your loved one. If he wants you to get on the ground, if he wants you to face down, get on the ground, face down, and you totally take away anything that he would have done to you. And all your knucklehead friends talking about, man, I ain't gonna let nobody punk me, I ain't gonna let nobody beat me. Go ahead on, you see where they at. I said this because I love you. I hope you hear. I hope you get some wisdom out of it. I love you 24/7. That means I love you all the time. Shalom.